Hey, I'm Sadman 91mobiles and you are here probably for the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 review. Now if you are from India, chances are you are already aware of Xiaomi as a brand. It was in fact one of the first Chinese brands to come to India with powerful devices priced affordably for the masses. And with devices like Mi 3, Redmi 1S and Redmi Note, it soon became popular. But then it stopped. It became lethargic and most of the devices started coming to India late and some of them never even showed up. But now Xiaomi is back, and that too with a phone that does qualify as a bang. Redmi Note 3 looks solid on paper. It's got two variants, a 2GB one for under 10,000 and a 3GB one for under 12,000. We are going to review the latter one. But the point is, when Xiaomi first came to India, times were very different then. It was the only Chinese maker making phones in that price bracket. But now, in 2016, the year has just begun and we already have three new contenders. We've got Honor 5X, we've got Lenovo K4 Note, and we've got the LeEco Le1S. So, can the Redmi Note 3 put Xiaomi back on its throne? Is Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 better than the competition? What are some of its limitations? And the most important question, should you buy one? All this and more is going to be answered in this review, so keep watching. We'll be talking about all major aspects of the device from design, display, performance, gaming performance, software UI, battery, cameras and all. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at the spec sheet of this phone. It's got a Full HD 5.5-inch display, it's got a hexa-core Snapdragon processor, a 2GB or 3GB RAM and 16 or 32GB internal storage depending on your budget and preference. It's got a fingerprint scanner and a big battery. Let's start by talking about the design of this device. It's nothing like what Xiaomi generally cooks up for this budget, which is generally squarish, plasticky and with removable backs. Instead, it's got a brushed metal finish at the back, it's got metal on sides, it's got metal on front, it's rounded and very ergonomic, it's got a dedicated capacitive button row. It's beautiful. This metallic design is very premium. It oozes premiumness from every corner. Well, it does seem to be inspired from LeEco Le1S a bit, but we are not complaining because these two phones together are one of the best phones you can buy for under 15,000 bucks. Now let me talk to you about the feel of this device. I've noticed that reviewers generally tell you what the device is like, but they don't tell us what the device feels like. So the device feels very good in palm. It's not too thick, neither too thin, it's neither too heavy nor too light. It's very well balanced. And when you hold it in your hand, it rests well in your palm. And because it's rounded, it does not dig into your palm and does not give you pain there. However, there is one issue I have with this device. It's very slippery. In fact, the phone kept on falling while I was on call or testing or even playing games. So if you are particular about dropping your phone, you might want to get a case to protect this gorgeous looking device. Coming to the screen now, it's a 5.5-inch Full HD display panel, which when I first looked at, I confused it to be an AMOLED display because of the sheer amount of brightness and vividness it had. However, it's not AMOLED, it's a very good quality IPS LCD display panel with great viewing angles, great colors and very good quality and clarity. In fact, in terms of quality and clarity, it outperforms LeEco Le1S, Honor 5X and the Lenovo K4 Note here. Talking about the screen and sun, it is very legible outdoors thanks to the sunlight display technology built into the MIUI. Also, for those of us who like to read books and articles on phones, the reading mode reduces the glare from the screen and makes the whole experience a pleasurable one. Talking about protection, it does not have Gorilla Glass. However, Mi confirmed that it does have some sort of scratch-resistant protection. So all in all, the display is best in class. Now let's talk about performance. The phone is equipped with a Snapdragon 650 processor, which is a hexa-core processor, and some believe it to be even faster than Snapdragon 810 chipset. And if we take into account the benchmarks, it certainly feels true. And processing is snappy throughout all casual tasks like web browsing and emailing and all other stuff. However, for me, the real test was gaming. All phones these days can handle casual games like Temple Run pretty well, and this can too. But what about high-end games? Since it outperformed my Galaxy Note 5 in the benchmarks, I had very high hopes from it. I was expecting some hardcore gaming performance. And it was good for the most part. It was smooth and it can even handle the highest titles with ease. Yet, there were occasional stutters, lags and frame drops that are generally rare on flagships, which proves that those high benchmarking results do not necessarily translate into a similar experience in real life. So is the gaming bad? Well, not at all. As I just said before, it handles all games thrown at it pretty well. And for me, it is one of the best devices under 15,000. If you're a gamer and you don't want to spend a fortune on your smartphone for gaming, this device is tailor-made for you. Now I'll talk about the user interface. It runs on Android Lollipop, which can be disappointing as Marshmallow is becoming more and more popular. And the OS is topped with MIUI, which may or may not be disappointing depending on your personal preference. MIUI actually is one of the better Chinese UIs if we take into account the customizations it offers, may it be themes or transitions, or the fact that it comes with many useful apps and features pre-installed, like this QR code scanner built into the camera app itself. But it has its own share of annoyances, such as those irritating sounds, colorful icons, imitations of iOS, lack of a search bar in the settings menu, lack of an app drawer, and if you are like me, you might want to change the launcher to something that resembles stock. Also, it feels a little buggy at times, with Google's app suddenly misbehaving and the settings button in the notification tray not responding at times. Plus, those added animations might make your phone appear slower in opening apps. Also, as I have told you before, I have got a 3GB RAM variant and 1.5GB of that was always occupied by MIUI. Hence, I would not recommend anyone to go for a 2GB variant as it might be short on RAM. Talking about RAM, the phone occasionally has issues in retaining open apps in the background. This was evident in our speed test where it finished second after K4 Note, primarily due to its poor RAM management. The video link is in the description, be sure to check that out. Now let's come to cameras. Now, Xiaomi is known to install good cameras in its phones. However, this might be an exception. While the 16-megapixel primary camera is efficient in sunlight, it does not feel sufficient indoors. The images become noisier in lowly lit conditions, and while the dual LED flash is great for snapping in dark, there's not much you can do about the dull pictures it captures otherwise. It is at par with LeEco Le1S and Lenovo K4 Note, both of which too have mediocre cameras. But when pitted against the Honor 5X, Xiaomi's camera loses out. Come on Xiaomi, I had high hopes from you. The front camera is fair. It's neither great nor bad, it's just fair. Also, unlike the LeEco Le1S, it does not support 4K video recording. So all in all, cameras are not the strength of this device. However, the camera UI is quite likable. A simple viewfinder with color filters available with swipes. A link to the full-fledged camera review is down in the description, be sure to check that one out. If battery is an important issue for you, this segment will surely seal the deal for you. Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 comes with a 4050 mAh battery, and as you would expect from a 4050 mAh battery, it lasts long, really long. Even with my typical usage, which involves playing a couple of games, watching a bunch of online videos and attending lots of calls, this phone gave me above 4 hours screen on time daily. In fact, in a standard video loop test, it trashed all the competition in its price bracket and even a few flagships. So this phone does not die that easily. But when it does, it's a pain. Even with quick charging on board, it took me around 2 hours 40 minutes daily to charge this elephant. And that's what pinches a bit. Now let's quickly touch upon all other aspects of the device, starting with the fingerprint scanner. It has a rear fingerprint scanner, and while other reviewers are going gaga over it, I didn't find it to be that accurate. It skipped my fingerprints quite a few times in a day. And even when it does read my fingerprints, it is slower compared to competition to open the screen. You can look for yourself. Talking about sound for a while now, the phone has speaker grills at the bottom on the back. So ideally the sound should get muffled. However, it does not happen because Xiaomi took good care of that by installing this little stand down below. What it does it uplifts the phone a bit and allows the sound to travel outside. However, this little trick does not work when your phone is placed on your bed, your couch, or even your cushion. Talking about connectivity, the phone has got it all. It's got 4G, it's got dual SIMs, it's got dual band Wi-Fi, it's got VoLTE, it's got micro USB Ori-G. It does not have NFC, which Lenovo K4 Note does have. Also, with an IR blaster present, you can turn it into a universal remote for all your household appliances. And you would love the FM radio considering T20 World Cup is around. However, my issue is with the dual SIM slots. One of them is micro SIM and the other one is a nano SIM slot that can double up as an SD card slot too. But I have a nano SIM and that means I cannot have an SD card installed. So now for the question, how does this device stack up against the competition? Well, I'll be very honest with you. For me, it easily outclasses the Honor 5X and the Lenovo K4 Note in almost all areas. But when it comes to the LeEco Le1S, I will call it a draw. Both of them have got equally capable processors and both of them are gorgeous when it comes to designing. The Redmi Note 3 does have a micro SD card slot, however it will only work for you if you have a micro SIM card. And now for the biggest question, should you be buying this phone? Well, absolutely. It's a flagship-like phone priced under Rs 12,000. Now it does have its own limitations, but all of that can be overlooked if you look at the sheer pricing. I will go with 4 out of 5 for this one. Welcome back Xiaomi, welcome back. Now that was my review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. If you have any questions about the device, post them in the comment box below. Meanwhile, do press like, do hit share and do subscribe to 91mobiles, India's largest gadget research website. See you soon again. Ciao.